Jennifer. I'm pleased to be here and to be part of the great work that you all are doing. Civic Builders in New Heights started working together 2 years ago to address a major challenge facing the school. You're a great school with hardworking students, parents, and teachers, but you didn't have room to grow. Ms. Winnett and the board had done fabulous work at establishing a small academic paradise in the community, but New Heights was quickly running out of space. So we partnered together. Unfortunately, in New York, the challenges that a great charter school face go beyond the work in the classroom. Schools need to have buildings in order to educate children, and charter schools are often responsible for building their own buildings. So we formed a partnership on the premise that Ms. Winnett and the New Heights team should remain laser focused on educating students. And Civic Builders would lead the expansion and redevelopment of this beautiful landmark building. The Raza Development Fund provided funding, and I'm going to introduce Tom Espinoza in a moment. My colleague Jill Crawford ably led the Civic team, and Jose Betancourt, the person who owns this building, worked with us, and the result of this partnership is what I think you'll agree is a fabulous building. You all deserve it. The entire New Heights community has worked hard and has had outstanding results and deserves a good place to learn. Congratulations to Ms. Winnett, the board, the teachers, the parents, and most importantly to the students. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Tom Espinoza, President and CEO of Raza Development Fund. Raza is the largest Latino community development financial institution in the U.S. and has been a great partner of charter schools in New York City and across the country. One of the main, slightly boring, but main secrets about building a charter school is that it takes a lot of money. Maybe it's not such a secret. School construction in New York is very expensive, and we're all very lucky for funders like Raza who so clearly prioritize children and communities. Tom, please come up and say a few words. Thank you.
Muy buenos días. Qué placer estar aquí con estos niños tan preciosos y con sus familias. Gracias a Dios que tenemos un día que, bueno, pues que podemos disfrutar este gran día de la escuela. Thank you very much, David. Thank you for your kind words. I'm truly honored to be here today. Thanks to Civic Builders for such an outstanding job that is making this day possible. Also, Mark Van Brun, who's our Chief Operating Officer at Raza Development, is also honored to be on the Board of Directors of Civic Builders, so there's some very close connections there. The educators is where the rubber meets the road for children's future. New Heights is at the highest level performance for the students, and RDF is truly honored in some small way to be part, to contribute to such a wonderful work. Thank you to the leadership of New Heights, the wonderful educators and children and families in this community. As evidence here today, RDF creates investment solutions that truly touch families and children and education. I also want to thank RDF staff, Laura Cosell, who's joined us as Chief Credit Officer, who many times gets a chance to say yes, and New Heights was one of those projects where it was easy to say yes to because of such the impact on children. And also Bernarda Duarte, who helped help us put together our marketing strategy for the great work that you do here. I'm honored to introduce the next speaker who represents State Farm Insurance. Now, Raza Development Fund, just like every other organization, also needs capital that we invest into the community. State Farm Insurance has been one of our major partners and in fact was one of our founders as we started to create the fund. So we're very honored to be here with State Farm. And I'm very pleased to welcome Raymond Dorset, who is the Northeast Zone Agency Field Executive. Mr. Dorset has had a long and successful career with State Farm Insurance, which began in 1987 as a personnel line fire underwriter at the Northern California Regional Office. So he is here today as a partner with Raza Development Fund, with Civic Builders and New Heights to be part of this great opening. Please welcome Raymond Dorset.
Wow, aren't we lucky about the weather today? Yeah, glad the rain's holding off. The sun's coming out. I am so excited to be representing State Farm today to celebrate the ribbon cutting ceremony for your new academy. You know, State Farm is one of the nation's corporate leaders in supporting education and developing the future workforce, the future leaders of this country. So we seek out opportunities to align ourselves with solutions to boost academic achievement and broaden the success horizon for all students in this country. As I look out and I see the 750 students, teachers, parents of the New Heights Academy come together with local community to celebrate the opening of this wonderful school, it makes me think about what State Farm is all about, and that's being a good neighbor in the communities that we serve. And in my role at State Farm, I help individuals who also want to open and revitalize communities by being State Farm agents. Three of them here with me today, and I just want to thank them for coming. Miguel Rodriguez Vargas and Julio Tejada, who grew up here in the Heights, and Kristen Palacios, who's going to be opening. So congratulations, guys. You know, in these difficult economic times, I think it's really important that companies like State Farm and Raza Development Fund continue to support communities in New York City and other communities throughout the country with sustainable and meaningful partnership efforts. In our business, our mission is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from unexpected events, and to realize their dreams. And one of the reasons we partnered with Raza Development Fund is that they also help people realize their dreams. Dreams like building and expanding